don't even think I need to clear up. Yeah, I made a poll of this. Yeah, you guys wanted it. So I'm just gonna give my thoughts on this little update because there's been so much negativity, some positivity. There's been so much stuff going around, and I just want to, well, kind of give myself from like a third-party perspective or like a perspective of someone looking at the positives, the negatives, and well, everything. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Sugar Swan Cookie. Actually, kind of an all-time favorite. I think this comes from Cookie Run Oven Break. I might be wrong here. I don't play Oven Break, so I don't know. But honestly, it's a really known cookie, and I find it nice that it's being added. But it does come in with downsides. First, I think it was introduced at a pretty bad time. Because, you know, we're kind of in the middle of the Dark Enchanted War. There's no custom update for this cookie, which is one of the more popular ones, which I feel doesn't make this cookie justice. Second would be, basically it's kind of feeling like a replacement of Pure Vanilla Cookie. If you guys don't know, right now Pure Vanilla is actually doing pretty well in the meta and arena, even though he is a pretty old cookie compared to Awakened, compared to everyone else. But then, here he is, Healer, Rear, and Light, which is exactly the same as Pure Vanilla. Healing, Rear, and the element is Light, which kinda sends like, oh, we don't want Pure Vanilla here anymore. And man, that sucks that that is true right here. Another thing a lot of people have been complaining about are these costumes. And I'm sure you can tell why. You're probably watching this video and you can figure it out. These two costumes are the same, except different color. But they're not really. I do want to point out that there is some differences. Here's a picture of some differences, credit out to this person. But there is a lot of people pointing out that it feels like the same cookie, and it feels like the same thing but a recolor. And if you think that, you're justified to feel that. They aren't exactly frame to frame different colors, I'll say that. But they feel similar enough where you feel like it doesn't really matter. It's two legendary costumes, and you feel like it's kind of just feels like scamming yourself due to having two legendary costumes of, well, the same cookie. And, well, especially the fact that you can only use one at a time, and they're releasing two at the same time, which kind of feels out of place. This is probably the most controversial part of the update, at least in my opinion. But even though I make massive gacha videos on costumes and it's my most successful video, I still have a lot of mixed feelings about this. I feel like this could have been executed a lot better. Another thing I'm not a big fan of is this new Galactic Kit background. Now, why don't I like this background? This background looks pretty good. Thing is, I do. I think the background looks great. But what am I talking about? It's that this background's going to be behind a paywall. This is going to be behind a paywall. If these castles are new, I don't know if they are. They'll probably be behind a paywall. They always put everything of this behind a paywall. Paywall, 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 paywall. And no way to grind for it, which is so annoying. I've been playing for quite some time. Like a long time. In backgrounds, I only have 2 backgrounds. Frick, there's 5 backgrounds I can buy with money. And out of all this time, I've only managed to get 2 backgrounds for free. The Starry Night and the Cozy Snowy Winter. Literally. Like, there's only 2 of them. I'm just gonna frickin' put the Starry Night. Boom, it's night now. That's all I have. Which just sucks. Honestly, it feels hurtful that you keep advertising this stuff like, oh my goodness, check this thing out. Oh, paywall. Now, besides this little thing, we do have the Rebuild the Crispia thing, which I actually find really cool. Like, actually, I find this really nice. There are some nice rewards here if I go back. And I'll pause right here. There seems to be XP jellies, crystals, cubes, and something else here. It seems to be a title right here. And honestly, I do find that really cool. Nice way to rebring Crispia. I also love this Sugar Cookie chest of trophies. It feels really nice. Hopefully, they add it the same way they did it to White Lily Awakened or better, because this mode is really nice. It can give really good rewards. It can feel great, but it really depends on how they add it. Hopefully, it is well done. The costumes, I feel like these two could be a epic duo, because you gotta remember the fact that these cookies can be high rarity cookies can have lower rarity costumes. Like if I show you right here and go to Pure Vanilla and go to costumes. Pure Vanilla has an epic costume. Hollyberry has an epic costume. I actually loved this costume when it came out. Golden Cheese also has one. And Dark Cacao has one. White Lily's the only one that has it. Like, they stopped doing it after that. And then they just stopped doing it in high rarities. For example, Burning Spice doesn't have one. Eternal Sugar doesn't. Silent Salt doesn't. Wrong Way. Mystic Flower doesn't. And Shadow Milk doesn't. They just locked it up all the way back up in Legendary, which just makes the experience worse. It affects it a lot, and that just sucks. It makes the experience worse. You could definitely experiment doing epic costumes. You don't have to go full Legendary type systems. Another thing right here is the affection system. Right here, the affection system. I think it's pretty cool. I did hear something that not all cookies would be here. Hopefully, I misremembered that, and that's just some sort of rumor. There's a bunch of new stuff right here, which I think is cool. Honestly, it's kind of fine. I'm not really. I just want to see. I'm not gonna wait for it to see how this goes. But it sees level 10 is max to this, so that's interesting. And this is with Dark and Change with the new costume, which I guess is nice. Honestly, the costume looks nice. The issue was it was double. I feel like you should have made a blue one and made that a single legendary costume, and made Sugar Swan red. Like, that would have been a lot cooler. After that, we do have this cake stacker minigame, which I think is really cool. I think this is nice. I like this. I'll make a video on this mode. If there's a ranking for this, I'll make it to Grandmaster on this mode. I like it. I think it's cool. I do have to learn a mode. It looks fun. I think that's great. So, that's great. Nice work. There is also My Cookie Adventure. If you just go ahead and go here, there's a bunch of new stages, a bunch of new stuff. There is refreshes with these things. I love that. I think that's great. I definitely think that is really cool. And there is Unfathomable Raid challenge mode here, which I think is nice, but problem. Please do not require Sugar Swan to beat this. Sugar Swan is obviously a new healer, and requiring a new healer to beat this would be ridiculous. Also, Golden Cheese is using the wrong costume here. This is supposed to be Awakened Golden Cheese, but she's using her epic costume instead. I thought I'd point that out as I saw that. We also have Boss Rush. Hopefully it's the same as always, right? Honestly, how I find it regular, I think it's fine. But, and it seems like right here, after some of the levels, they will be a timer, which honestly, I think it's fair. Gives time people to, like, catch up and play more passively, because in the end, you'll have time for all of them. I think that's been before. I personally think it's fine. I think it's fair, as long as you give a decent amount of time for every single boss. And then the rest of this is lore-wise, and yeah. Let's talk about my final thoughts here. This update is very controversial due to everything. I really like to keep things positive, but I just don't know, man. I've seen all this, and then I just see this, and people are just complaining and complaining and complaining and having issues and issues and issues. Don't release an update like this. Oh, please, please, please don't release the cookie chat with next update with or stuff like that. I'm sorry. I'm not even properly reading this message, but a lot of people aren't huge fans of this, and it just hurts to see, man. Hopefully, we do get an address from developers. We do end up fixing stuff, and hopefully we do. I still plan to make videos on the update, and if you want to talk about your thoughts on the update, feel free to comment down below. Feel free to have that discussion. I will definitely join the discussions. Feel free to join my Discord and give your thoughts about the update. I want honest thoughts. I want genuine thoughts if you guys think of it. I'm sorry for this kind of weird talking video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I don't know if I'll keep doing these videos unless you guys want them. If you want them, let me know. If not, not. And yeah, subscribe and have a good day, y'all.